Well, good afternoon and welcome to The Real American. I'm your host, Tracy Coyer, as usual, and today I have the pleasure of being joined by freshman state representative Adam Priza. Adam, it's always a pleasure to see you, my friend.
My pleasure is mine, Tracy. I'm glad to be here.
Well, I'm glad to have you back. Now, you've been in session for just over 2 months.
A little more than 2 months, yeah.
More than 2 months. How do you feel about what's going on? Are you liking the position? Are you excited to be there?
I'm loving every second of it. It's truly a blessing and an honor to be representing Merrimack and being in the House. And I'm really happy with the direction the state's moving in, having the Republican majority and having Governor Ayotte in charge.
How is she to work with?
She's absolutely amazing. Yeah, very easy to talk to, open to different opinions, and it's just made the process a lot easier.
Excellent. Now, a lot of times when people get elected, particularly the other party, everything is lockstep. Everything is, you're going to do it this way, and they're cracking the whip on you, making sure that nobody strays away. I understand that you're not that type of person, and when you elect a Republican, you are electing the person, not the party. And everybody's not always happy with everything you do, but everybody's never disappointed with everything you do. So it's nice to have a voice up there that's actually awake, aware, and alert instead of in lockstep. So I have to thank you in advance for that.
I think you put it very nicely how the Republican Party, I don't mind, I'll pull my punches a little bit. The Republican Party is a lot more open to debate, whereas the other side is you vote one way, and if you don't, you're going to get in trouble.
Yep.
One of the representatives I want to talk about, Democrat Jonah Wheeler, he's absolutely fantastic.
Okay.
But I feel a lot of the representatives on my side feel that he's almost getting pushed out of the party.
Really?
There are times where he votes on the Republican side, and you can see whether when he's speaking up on the House floor, they'll get up and leave or they'll scream something. And it's absolutely unbelievable. It's a young kid my age, wants to fight for what he believes in, and he's just getting completely shut out. It's horrible.
Yeah, I can imagine. And I mean, you see what's going on with political unrest and the Doge committee and all this stuff. And we're not here to talk about federal politics, but they have a tendency to throw temper tantrums when they don't get exactly what they want, which I find kind of amusing, but it's also kind of dangerous. And we've had Tesla bombings, 2 of them I'm aware of here in New Hampshire, of all places. It's scary for the party that's supposed to be open-minded, well-educated, tolerant. They want to coexist with everybody that agrees with them, but they don't want to coexist with anybody that doesn't. And that's the one thing that drew me to the Republican Party years and years ago, was the fact that if I don't like what you have to say, I'm going to tell you I disagree. I'm not going to get in a fist fight with you. I'm not going to key your car or burn your Tesla. And I remember being on the campaign trail, seeing people with their Trump stickers, and the easiest way to get your car keyed was to have a Trump sticker on your car. I think it would have been a nice joke to walk around and put them on Democrats' cars and watch their cars get keyed, because they'd be doing it themselves. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up. I actually saw a video earlier today of someone in New Hampshire. He parked next to a Tesla, got out, and then keyed the car a swastika on the Tesla. I mean, that's it's just a car.
Yeah.
And not to mention, it's supposed to be a car for the environment.
Yes.
So I don't understand what their thought process is with destroying Teslas, burning them, breaking them. I don't understand the intolerance.
For a guy that only owns 15% of the company, and he was the media darling for years until he started speaking up about free speech and all those other things, and that turned into a bit of a mess.
Speaking against the Democrats.
Yeah. I mean, free speech is free speech. I don't have to like what you say.
No, that's the beauty of it.
I have family members that I don't particularly talk politics with, for obvious reasons. But then again, I've got friends that are so hard to the left. We'll sit down, we'll have a cup of coffee, we'll chat. In fact, one of them specifically, who lives on my street, hardcore Democrat. I was the only person that he voted for in the last election. He didn't vote for any Democrats, and he only voted for one Republican because he didn't want his vote to get watered down by not voting for me. And I thought that was kind of nice.
It is very nice. It shows he actually does his research and looks into what they believe in. And what I see is a lot of Democrats, they go into the voting box and they'll just circle every Democratic name, don't know their opinion. Whereas the Republican vote, you have to earn it a little bit more.
Yep.
They will go in and only vote for 2 or 3, even if there's 8 options.
Yep.
And I think that creates a level of accountability in our party that we need. And I wish it was on both sides.
It will eventually become that, I think, I hope, pray.
Down the line.
But let's talk about a couple other things that are going on. And I want to specifically talk about the housing market in New Hampshire. Now, you've been involved in real estate for quite some time, and I believe it was Monday, which would have been the 31st of March, talking about the nominal interest rate reduction on a 30-year fixed, which I guess went down almost just slightly over a quarter of a point. Has that made any difference as far as what you're doing?
Particularly for first-time home buyers, yes. I think last time I was on here, I gave an example of I sold a home, and those first-time home buyers that bought the home were having to make $4,000 a month payments. And with the quarter of the reduction, it will help a little bit, but we'll still need a trend in that direction for a little bit longer. And one of the good things I like is because I believe in New Hampshire, the housing vacancy is 0.8%, 0.7, 0.8, which is extremely low. Kelly Ayotte put forth a bill that would speed up the permitting process for new development. And that's what we really need right now. We need more houses, especially with New Hampshire being such an attractive place to move to, whether it's Vermont, Maine, Massachusetts, or around the country. We just need more of it. And I think that, on top of the reduction in the interest rates, that'll make housing a lot more affordable.
Now, I have also noticed that home prices haven't gone up. They've actually gone down a little bit over the past 6-8 months.
Yes, which is great, especially going into the spring. You usually see prices spike, which will help this year, especially with not having that spike. There'll be a lot more options for buyers.
Yeah, I mean, we're still a very expensive place to
live.
live.
No, we're not affordable by any means, but we're moving in the right direction.
No, in fact, my brother just recently moved up from the Midwest, and he was a little bit awestruck when you can buy a 3,200 square foot house in his neck of the woods for around $270,000, and you can't even get a garage here for that.
No, there's really nothing livable that you can just move into right away for $270,000.
Yeah, it's kind of scary. So, what good experiences have you had at the State House?
I think one of the big things is not even the people in our district, which they've all been really great, but when I have a difference of opinion, there are a lot of other people in the party that I can go to. It's like, hey, I don't truly believe in this. Can we find a middle ground? Or I am going to vote against this. And they're not immediately striking me down. They want to listen. And maybe we come to a compromise. We vote the same way or the other. Or sometimes we vote separately, but we still respect each other at the end. And I think that's helped because going into a brand new experience, there's some nerves involved. Absolutely.
Yeah.
No idea the process or the procedures. And I think it's helped me a lot move into being a more effective legislator.
Excellent. Now, is there anything in particular, aside from the budget that's going on, that people should be made aware of?
Yeah, one of the great things that I actually campaigned on is removing biological men from women's sports. I'm thankful and proud that we voted to get rid of that in New Hampshire. It'll bring integrity back to women's sports, give them a fair opportunity. That makes me so happy. I wasn't sure if we were going to be able to do it, but it was such a problem. Even though just a few people.
Yeah.
Is those few women that got robbed, instead of getting second, or instead of getting first, they got second, or instead of being on the podium, they didn't place. It's just a huge deal to me.
I believe the last count was almost 900 medals that were given to transgenders over women who had been participating in female sports for since they were kids. And for
Shameful.
900 of them to lose potential for scholarships, or it just doesn't make any sense. But President Trump signed his executive order.
Thankfully.
A lot of states have complied. I know that the Justice Department is going against a particular New England governor right now. God bless. I don't know why it's so hard to realize that, what is a woman? What is a man? I don't know. And Title IX was put in 50 plus years ago to protect women's sports.
And it removed a lot of men's sports. A lot of men lost scholarships because of it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was close to 70 wrestling programs across the country. Men's wrestling programs got cut when Title IX came in. I think there are great aspects to it, but I don't think we should cut men's sports to benefit women's. I think we could find a balance where they're both there.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And, you look at the WNBA. A lot of people, now go to WNBA games just to see Caitlin Clark.
Mm-hmm.
Rising superstar. She's absolutely fantastic.
She can shoot a ball better than me, that's for sure.
Well, anybody can shoot better than me, but that's fine. My wife beats me. But, she's an athlete, and I'm just a retired old guy. So, at any rate, have you followed a lot of the town council stuff that's going on? Have you been to any of the local meetings?
I've been to one of the local meetings. Because of my time in the state house, the times do conflict.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been reading about more of it than actually hearing about it in person.
Okay. Well, we know that there's some interesting things going on here, and April 8th is local election day, so we've got to keep an eye on that. And
maybe you should run for that.
It's a little late for me to get on board. I wish I had thought of it earlier, to be honest. I probably would consider it, but after two bad runs, and the first one in 2012 was not a great run. The last one, I wasn't disappointed with at all. For the margin that the three Republicans on the slate lost by was so minuscule.
It was.
And everybody says, well, are you going to do it again? What could you have done differently? Well, sure, there's a few things I could have done differently. My sphere of influence is pretty much North Merrimack. There aren't that many other people in town who know me or have met me, because this is pretty much where I've always kind of been around. And when I was working specifically for National Right-Your Congressman, going back a number of years, I was in Hudson, I was in Litchfield. I had virtually no contacts here in Merrimack, because their goal was to motivate you to get out and meet people.
Yeah.
Well, I should have spent a little more time meeting people in my own community, but still not disappointed.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing. As long as you look back, you have no regrets about the entire thing, and you're proud of what happened.
It was a good process.
Yeah, it was.
It was fun.
A lot of work.
Talking to the champion of sign waving here. God, I just remember being at the polls with you, and everybody, you're the guy with the sign. And
Yep.
he was saying, hi, Adam.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to come up and meet you, and they're looking at me going, oh, that's a nice shirt. Oh, great. But at least that part of it's over.
Mm-hmm.
I was disappointed to see some of the results, obviously. And I don't mean in the local. Russ Prescott had a phenomenal showing.
Yeah.
Didn't quite have enough money. And, we go back to our current White House press secretary. She did a bang-up job several years ago, and now look at where she is. So, it's not just because you don't quite get over that hump, you're never going to get there. It's, are you still in for the fight?
Yeah.
And I haven't decided yet.
Yeah.
I haven't decided. I know you'll be going again.
Absolutely, yes.
So the environment is good there.
Yes, for the most part, yes. It's still a little divided when we get lunch.
You would think that that's the time when people wouldn't want to, but anyway, that's fine. everybody's doing well. I don't know. What do you think could change? What do you think could be improved?
I think one of the things you brought up is how Russell Prescott didn't have enough money, and I think you tend to see that a lot on the more Republican side.
Mm-hmm.
I think it shows how close our margins is, and with Kelly out winning, how much more fiscally responsible we are. And if we could find a way to get more of the money, whether it's through small donations or local businesses that are Republican, I think we could even see a wider margin in 2026, 2028. But I think that's the biggest thing. I think we put plenty of effort in. And I think it shows having a 40-seat majority in the House right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's just little things we could tweak.
Well, the amount of money that was spent by the opposing party was easily 8 times what everybody spent on our side. And I mean, that was a significant amount of money that was poured in. And, you know, for that major investment, you know, they got 3 seats. That's great. I mean,
they held the ones that I think they were expecting those 3 to win.
Yeah. And I've talked to a couple friends that helped out during my campaign, and you know, their thing was always the same. Well, you know, we know so and so, we know so and so, we know you, so of course we had to vote for them, and then of course we're going to vote for you, and that's fine.
Absolutely,
that's fine. I mean, it's not a lockstep mindset. I mean, there's good ideas and unfortunately bad ideas on both sides. On both sides, and there was only one person that was ever perfect to walk the face of this earth, and it certainly isn't me.
No, it's not me either, that's for sure.
And God bless him.
Yeah.
And he did, oddly enough. So, what have you been doing for entertainment now that your time is so limited? Are you back to running? Are you biking?
I'm not quite back to running yet. I still have probably 4 or 5 months till I could run again.
Yep.
If you didn't watch the last episode, I broke my back wrestling in college.
Yep.
But I have planned a triathlon in August.
Okay.
So right now all my free time's geared up to training for that.
All right. Doing a lot more swimming than running, obviously.
Absolutely, yeah. No running yet, a lot of swimming.
How's the biking working out?
Love it.
Keeping everything nice and loose. And
it helps a lot, actually.
It's funny, my brother was rebuilding my neighbor's bicycle downstairs in my cellar this weekend, and hey, boy, he does a good job. I'm going to have him do mine, and you may want to have him look at doing yours. Wow, does he do good work? And, you know, it's just golf season's coming. You're going to have time to get out and do that, or you don't play yet, do you?
What do you play?
Golf.
Oh, I do play golf. I wouldn't say I'm very good at it. I go for have a fun time. I don't keep track of score most of the time.
Okay.
If I can hit the ball straight, that's a good stroke.
Oh, I'm on the same page with you there. I'm certainly not joining the PGA anytime soon.
No, that'd be pretty cool. Maybe later in life.
Well, you don't get much later than anyway. Speaking of somebody a third my age, that's terrific. Well, it's been an honor to have you here. I just, you know, we sat down with Billy Boyd, Representative Boyd, I'm sorry. It was last week, I think, and it was a great show. Great show.
He's a great person to talk to.
He speaks very highly of you, and I know you speak highly of him.
Absolutely.
So,
it's whenever I have any question at the State House, or when I was campaigning or anything, when I called him, he always picked up his phone. He's always willing to talk and give me pointers. Yeah, and he's one of the people that's really helped me since I've been in the House.
Good man. And I mean, I don't think that anybody that got on in the last series wasn't outgoing and giving.
No, they're all great.
And God, you need a hand up, a hand on your shoulder, a little advice. They were always there.
Absolutely.
Absolutely always there. And with that being said, we're going to close it out in just a couple minutes. Anything you can think of that you might like to tell the people of Merrimack?
One of the big things is I probably should have said it earlier in the show is just I really appreciate you guys voting me in. I mean, it's truly, I had no political background. I wasn't in a family of politicians. I didn't know how to campaign, but through the work Tracy and I did, I know you helped me a lot. You guys believed in me, and it means so much to me. I really appreciate it.
Well, if I could pick either you sitting in that seat or me sitting in that seat, I'm much more happy that you made it rather than me.
that means a lot,
because
Tracy.
you have a very, very bright future.
Thank you.
And I've said before, if you don't know me, come up and say hi. If you don't know Adam, come up and say hi to him. You'll see him around. He's around town all the time.
Yeah.
Bend his ear. My phone number's available. I'm sure your phone number's available.
Absolutely, it's online.
State House email. You're easy enough to get a hold of. In
Yeah.
fact, it took me almost 20 seconds to get you on the phone the other night. I'm sure your ringer was off when you saw it was me, but that's fine.
No, never.
But no, it was terrific to catch up. I hope to do it again.
Absolutely, we'll definitely do it again.
And all in all, The Real American is here to say good night. Thank you, Adam Priza, for joining me again.
Glad to be here.
And next time we'll have to do it when it's not blowing 45-mile-an-hour wind outside, so we can actually get in without freezing.
Yep, sounds good.
All right, my friend, thank you very much.
Thank you, Tracy.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. And Adam, once again, best of luck there.
Thank you, I appreciate it.